told, wearing a burqa. So now it's not just a hijab. Some students wearing a burqa are being permitted inside the Kundapura Government High School in Udupi, where this entire hijab controversy first started. So now it's not just a hijab. Now there is burqa that girls are wearing to school. I want to cut across to India Today's Mustafa Sheikh, who's reporting from Kundapura in Udupi for more on the story. Mustafa, bring us the ground situation at this point of time. You've been speaking to students, parents, teachers, community at large. What's the situation on ground?
थोड़ा पेन पीछे बैकग्राउंड टिकाना. Yes, Gaurav, we are in Kundapura district, which is just a few kilometers away from Udupi, and here you will see that police presence is outside the government school and colleges. This is one of the area where the protest of the hijab issue had emerged. Since morning, students have gathered here. Remember, 9th and 10th standard is where the schools have opened. We have seen one student at least wearing a burqa. She had entered the school. The assistant superintendent of police was also here. He had taken calculation of the ground situation. He has said that whatever the High Court order will be followed. The students will be asked to remove their hijab and then sit in the classroom. So you can see that here once again for 9th and 10th standard the schools have begun with proper police mechanism, police presence, so that there is no protest which takes place. And on 16th of February we'll see the pre-university, which is the 12th and 11th standard classes opening up. But as of now there have been no reports of any protest or any violence taking place in anywhere in Udupi or Kundapura area where the schools have started. Back to you.
Okay, stay with me from ground zero. All eyes, of course, now remain on the Karnataka High Court. This hijab fire has spread to different parts of the country. A 3-judge bench, they will resume hearing petitions seeking an end to the hijab ban in educational institutions, not just at Kundapura or Udupi, but now across Karnataka. The bench is headed by the Chief Justice of the High Court, Rituraj Avasthi, and includes brother judges Krishna Dikshit and Justice J.M. Kazi. Justice Dikshit and Justice Kazi join Justice Avasthi. The court will begin hearing the case at 2:30 this afternoon. Earlier, the High Court had given an interim order. In the interim order, they made it very clear that educational institutions should be reopened as quickly as possible. However, the Honorable Court had restrained students from wearing any religious symbols, whether it was a hijab or a saffron shawl, or taking any kind of a religious symbol to a classroom. In the wake of this order, some students did move the Supreme Court seeking an urgent hearing against the High Court interim order. Of course, the Supreme Court shot down this plea, saying they will at an appropriate time. I once again want to come back to Nolan Pinto for more on this as Mustafa Sheikh stays with us. India Today has the biggest team of reporters from ground zero. We broke the story. We're tracking every angle of the story. And Nolan, bring us both sides, what they've been putting forward and what the educational institution is saying about hijab and the origins of this controversy.
Well, Gaurav, it all started in December. So towards the end of December, when a few students at the Udupi College, women's college that is, decided that one fine day they would want to enter with a hijab. Now, they have been stating that they have been wearing the hijab all along. But we spoke to their classmates who stated that they have never done that, and maximum that they would wear a burqa or a hijab, enter the college campus, remove the burqa and the hijab, and enter the classroom wearing the uniform that is prescribed by the CDC, which is the College Development Community. Now, once they were not allowed to enter, these discussions took place, and then finally they actually filed a petition in the Karnataka High Court. So as of now, initially, it was a single judge bench headed by Justice Dikshit that was looking into this, where you had the petitioner's lawyers stating that, one, it is an essential and integral part of Islam to wear a hijab. And it's also, the hijab is a facet of their fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression. And the third point was that the government order, that the Karnataka government overstepped its authority in coming out with that GO stating that only uniforms are allowed inside. Now, when this matter was, in fact, the Justice Dikshit decided that this matter is bigger than what it was expected, and hence it should go to a larger bench. And as of now, a 3-judge bench headed by the Chief Justice of the Karnataka High Court is looking into this. The arguments today would be basically the petitioners' lawyers have completed their arguments. One of the petitioner's lawyer will complete his argument today. Then the Advocate General will have to speak, and thereafter, a lawyer representing the Udupi College, one of the colleges, the CDC, will also be coming out with his submissions. So we have to see what really happens. But most likely, I spoke to a few lawyers, High Court lawyers. They say that most likely one might not expect any sort of order today.
Okay.
Because a large number of lawyers and advocates still have to complete their submission.
Fair enough. Keep tracking that story. I will come back to you for more.